So what do you want to talk about in the card? What stood out to you? I mean, obviously the main event we'll talk about.
Well, there was the weird knockout Shane Burgos.
Really
yeah, very strange. Did you see the doctor breakdown? Who sent me? Gary Hope sent it to me on Twitter. He's a friend of Full Reptile, isn't he? Friend of yours, friend of Full Reptile. Thank you, Gary. I watched it in a very tired state, and I can't quite remember the crux of it, but I think it was something to do with competing hemispheres in your brain and being a tough motherfucker like Shane Burgos is. And one hemisphere in the brain shutting down, the other one just taking a little bit of time to completely shut down, and that was the delay that made it look so strange.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, very interesting. I haven't really gone back into that and looked at that in depth, but I think it'd be an interesting thing to look at, wouldn't it?
Very interesting. You know, I mentioned it earlier before we started recording, but that Andrew Huberman podcast, the one I've just finished watching, he was talking about the effects of cold and cold therapy and all that kind of stuff. Where was I going with that?
Core. We talked about it before the podcast about the core. I don't know how it relates to the brain.
No,
stuff,
that was it. That was what he was talking about. He was talking about people that do these like sub-Saharan marathons and that kind of stuff. There's a small percentage of the population that can basically push themselves past the point where their safety mechanisms would kick in and just stop them. Like people, like there are he gave a percentage, but there's a very small percentage of the population that can hold their breath until they pass out. Yeah. And most people would take a breath to save themselves from passing out. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what percentage of the population of those people fight in MMA? Because you've got to think it's a much higher percentage.
My friend's done the sub-Saharan desert, and he was always mad. Like always, no matter what context you're in, he was like, "You're mad.
Yeah,
you're right."
Yeah, you've got to think there's a higher percentage of those people on fighting in MMA.
He used to make us choking with a towel. Put a wrap of towel on, see how long he could stay before he passed out with two people pulling the towel. Anyway, that's enough about my private life.
This is a conversation for the podcast.
No, honestly, it wasn't like that.
It's not like that. Now you've said it. I mean,
maybe it was. I don't know. I was young. Try anything once.
It was for training. It was meant to be better.
Anyway, hopefully Shane Burgos is all good. He seemed to
he's been tweeting and stuff. It seems like
he seemed all good, but it wasn't very nice to watch, was it?
Really weird.
Not at all. Yeah.
Really weird. Just like I remember getting caught with a head kick once and having a conversation where I'm like, oh, I'm fine, and then before I knew it, I was down.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh no, I'm not fine. It was weird
at all.
But
yeah. I'm sure they looked after. I'm sure he has good medical insurance and what have you. That have done their diligence.
Yeah.